Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. Today's top story, genetic modification. It's been around since the 1970s, but now scientists have discovered a new way of editing genes that's so simple a dedicated high schooler could do it. This revolutionary new technique, called CRISPR Cas9, co-opts an immune system response found in bacteria. The workhorse of the system is the Cas9 enzyme, inside which is a short section of guide RNA. The Cas9 enzyme travels along a strand of DNA until it finds a match to the guide RNA. Once it's found a match, it cuts the DNA and inserts the guide RNA in its place, replacing the defective gene with a functioning copy. This technology wouldn't be possible without the knowledge gained in the field of genetics, especially the Human Genome Project, which in 2003 succeeded in mapping all of the genes in human DNA. That breakthrough is what allows scientists to determine the DNA sequence they need to program Cas9 to look for. Although the initial uses of CRISPR-Cas9 in humans would be to cure disease, once the technology has become accepted into society, it may be possible to create designer babies, allowing parents to select the traits they'd like in their unborn children. But with great power comes great responsibility. CRISPR has the potential to cure disease, but it may also unknowingly create a zombie apocalypse. So the creator of the technology is urging a moratorium on using CRISPR on humans until a consensus can be reached on how best to use the technology to benefit mankind. So CRISPR has the potential to literally change humanity, which may be good or it may be bad. Still remains to be seen. To find out what other people think of this technology, we sent our reporters into the field, and here's what they discovered about people's thoughts on genetic modification.
So thank you for joining us, Peter. Now, what are your thoughts on genetic modification?
Apparently the research says that genetic modification is perfectly safe, but what troubles me about that is a lot of that research is paid for by the companies that are making that product, and that worries me.
I don't think you should tamper with Mother Nature personally. I mean, crops are one thing, but I think when you're dealing with people, it's coming to the point where you can order your custom children. That's getting kind of scary.
All right, what if I was to say that there's a genetic modification technique out there so cheap that a dedicated high schooler could use it?
That's even scarier.
Even scarier, eh? Yeah.
I think so because, experience comes with age.
That sounds almost too good to be true. It seems almost suspicious in a way.
Now, Peter, what scares you the most about genetic modification, and what do you see as being the greatest benefit of this technology?
Well, I have to say, I think my concern is the whole phenomena of unforeseen consequences. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. It's interesting, back in the 1800s, when the British government was ruling India, the colonial government, and they were concerned in Delhi of the large number of cobras. So what they came up with was a bounty for all the killed cobras that were returned. And it was very successful at first, and a lot of cobras were killed. But then some of the enterprising Indians in the country, in Delhi, started raising cobras and turning them in to get the extra income. And so then they were left with a lot of these individuals who'd been raising these cobras with all these extra cobras they couldn't get rid of, and so they just turned them loose into Delhi. And so that's an example, I think, of unforeseen consequences that could come as a result of genetic modification.
Well, I mean, you can cure so many diseases with it. A lot of problems that we face in different areas have to do with genes.
So that's where a lot of good thoughts come from. People that are free thinkers. And that's where you get a lot of inventions. You got a lot of wonderful things in technology. But when you start manipulating DNA, that's tampering with the supreme being. I mean, I don't believe in God anyway, but it's taken millions of years to get to where we are. As far as genetic engineering modifications for humans, I just don't agree with that at all.
Now, what do you think about changing appearance through genetic modification? Is that going too far?
I gotta say that I think that is a very dangerously slippery slope. Now, I know that may come as a surprise to any of the people that see this, because you look at my appearance, it's a little unusual. I admit that. But in fact, this may really surprise you. This is not my real hair. This is just an illusion. And this is not, I don't grow a mustache. That's also an illusion. And these aren't my real eyes. These are my real eyes. So my appearance, at first looked one way, is quite different in reality. And I think that's my main concern about genetic modification, is you don't really know what you're getting here.